North American eclipses have a spectacular history. An eclipse occurs when the moon moves directly between the Earth and the Sun, temporarily casting a shadow upon Earth's surface. Eclipses appear in two primary forms: lunar eclipses, in which the Earth casts a shadow on the moon by its position between the Sun and the moon, and solar eclipses, which is when the moon covers the Sun and plunges daytime into darkness. Although eclipses happen several times a year around the globe, they're less frequent in any single region. In the United States, a total solar eclipse typically graces any given area only once every few centuries. In 1504, on Christopher Columbus's fourth voyage, an eclipse prediction from a European almanac became a strategic tool of survival. Stranded and desperate for supplies in Jamaica, Columbus informed the indigenous Arawak people that the European god would display anger by darkening the moon unless they provided provisions. When the predicted lunar eclipse appeared precisely on schedule, the frightened Arawaks hurriedly supplied Columbus and his crew. Outside of that anecdote, indigenous Americans understood eclipses in varying ways. Ancient Maya viewed solar eclipses as moments when creatures of the underworld attack the sun, calling it Chibalkein, meaning when the sun is eaten. Maya children and adults responded with drums, shouting, and gunfire to chase away evil spirits. Aztec tradition similarly imagined a giant jaguar consuming the sun, a threat so dire it required collective screams from villagers to frighten the animal away. In 1806, Shawnee spiritual leader Tenskwatawa accurately predicted a solar eclipse, positioning it as divine validation of his power. This event unified numerous tribes behind his cause, which was a resistance to American expansion in the form of a native confederacy. Puritans of 17th century New England once viewed eclipses as divine warnings or omens linked to witchcraft, leading communities to seek protection through prayer and church bells. By the late 1700s, however, a more scientific perspective emerged. The total eclipse of June 24, 1778, became the first systematically documented eclipse in the young United States. Astronomer David Rittenhouse observed it meticulously in Philadelphia, and future President Thomas Jefferson corresponded eagerly about precise eclipse timing. These fresh attitudes are exactly why this era is often called the Age of Enlightenment. Then, 1878, a major eclipse swept from Montana through Texas. Thomas Edison tested his new heat measuring device, the thermometer, and astronomer Maria Mitchell led an all-female expedition to document solar corona details. In recent years, the USA has been fairly lucky. The Great American Eclipse of 2017 was total for many observers and partial for others, and in 2024 the USA respectively enjoyed a total and partial eclipse in April and October. Coming up is a total eclipse in 2044 over the contiguous United States, but if you feel passionate, there is a total eclipse happening in Alaska in 2033.